So it's May 1st. Where is the year going? But here we are. I wanted to film my first TBR kind of video. So the reason I put the air quotes around TBR is because I because I'm a mood reader and I don't know. I find things and I want to read it, and I'll have something that I've wanted to read. Excuse the cats, they're running around. But I find something I want to read, and then I'll have an entire list, and I'll put the list on hold, and I want to read something. So I want to build this list not to be like a TBR, but like the books that I want to get to next. I mean, it's still a two, whatever. We're here for May. Okay, May TBR. I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to say here, and this is my first one. So we'll see how this goes. I do not know how this experiment will go, because this is definitely an experiment for me, but we'll see. Thought I would start by just recapping what I read last month, April, and then I would, talk about what I want to read for May. So I have this is like my little reading journal. It's not really a journal, it's just like a list, right? And so here is my reading list. So for the year, I do this yearly, not for months. So my goal last year was to read 12 books, and I hit that goal in about, I think, August of last year. So I wanted to do it again. I've been on such a reading flow state that I hit my 12 already. I hit my 12 on April 17th, and that was Happyland by Dolan Perkins Jenkins. So let me just recap what I read last month. Okay, so in April, this is a little difficult because I don't label them by dates, so I'm trying to remember. I know I read this during spring break. I finished this one during spring break. Okay, so I won't count that one because I didn't. I guess I can. Why not? Okay, so here are the books that I read. I read Deacon King Kong by James McBride, and I gave that a 4 stars. I read that physically and I listened to it. Then the second book I read was The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. I gave that one a 3.5 star, and I read that one in an ebook form. And then I read The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. I gave that one a 4 star, and I fully listened to that book via audio. What's wrong, Chester? Then I read My Train Leaves at 3 by Natalie Guerrero. I gave that one 3 stars, and I read that and I listened to it somewhat. Then I read Promise Boys by Nick Brooks, and I gave that one 4 stars, and I fully listened to that in audio. I listened to that book in one day. I was cleaning around the house. It was my last day. I remember that. It was my last day of spring break, and I was just I just need more time. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to push the reality away. And I listened to the book all day, full audio, while I was cleaning, getting ready for the week ahead, all the things. And I finished it. Then I read Happyland by Dolan Perkins Jenkins. That was my 12th book, so I hit my goal already. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. My apologies. Okay. I gave Happyland 3.5 stars, and I fully read that book physically. All right, and then I read James by Percival Everett. I gave that 5 stars. If it was out of 10, I would give it 10. Whatever the max rating is, that's what that book got. James was so good. So good. So good. One of the best books I think I've read ever. And that's saying a lot because I've read some pretty good books, but it's legit. I'm gonna always remember that book. Like legit, I cannot stop talking about it. Anyway, and I fully and for James, I read it physically, but I mostly listened to it via audio. And then the last book I read in April was Culpability by Bruce Holsinger. I read that book fully in the ebook form, and I gave that one a 3.5 star. So now I want to talk about the books that I will be looking to read in May. I hope I get to them. I do not know. April was a very that was the most books I think I've read in a month in the last 5 years. So like during spring break, I legit read 4 books and I finished one because I had already started it. But I was like, I just wanted to read, and that's what I did, and I'm so happy I did. But this month, I don't know if I can keep it up. I'll try my best. Having book club at work is definitely a motivator, and it makes me want to read because we're all very excited about this, and like it's been so fun. So I guess I'll start with our book club pick because that is definitely like one of the number one books that I have to read. So that book is S.A. Cosby, King of Ashes. This is our book club pick for the month of May. So we are so excited to read. I am so excited to read. I was going to read All the Sinners Bleed at some point, but we're going to start with this one because it's our book club pick. So I'm really excited. I wanted to read S.A. Cosby anyway because I've heard so many good things, and I am such a like thriller, suspense, mystery gal that I'm like, how have I not read him yet? But we're working on it. Okay, so I am going to read this definitely because this is, like I said, our book club pick. So that is definitely one of the first books I'm picking. I probably should have also stated like how many books I want to read. I don't know. I think I'm going to pick maybe like 6. Because I have a list of like a stack of 4 here, and I think I'm just gonna pick 2 additional ones with like prompts. And like I said, it's my first TBR video. I don't know what I'm doing. We're gonna figure it out together, okay? I'm giving myself like a variety to choose from, and I do not know if I will get to all of them, but I will try. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And that's okay. So definitely King of Ashes is the first one. I'll go through my other little stack here. So the first one I have is The Black Queen by Jumada Emil. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a book that is borrowed from my school's library, and that is one of my reading goals for this year. I wanted to read more from libraries, and my school library definitely counts because the students use it, the teachers are allowed to use it. We're all reading, right? So if it's from a public library or my school's library, it counts as a library book. So that is The Black Queen. I have reserved the audio on it, so I probably do read it, like listen to it, and then I'll read it physically because I have been getting a lot more of my reading done through audio, and I've been really enjoying the process of listening to books, doing certain things, like whether I'm like cleaning or cooking. Sometimes I listen when I'm in the shower, when I go on walks, right? So like I've been really getting into the audio aspect of things. I've been realizing also the entire time that I've been looking at myself and not looking here. Like I said, first TBR video, we're doing what we can. I'm probably going to continue to look at myself because I just want to make sure that everything's fine. Anyway, whatever. That is one of the picks that I have. Then another one of my reading goals this year is to read more nonfiction and more memoirs. I noticed that I don't really read that many. I have read some in terms for like teaching, but as for like myself, I haven't really read much. I've read Issa Rae's memoir. I think that was the Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, and that one was okay. Um, but that's one of my goals. So the book that I chose in that genre is How to Build a Fashion Icon by Law Roach. And the reason I chose this is because I bought it, so I need to read it. But also, it's shorter, it'll be easier to get through rather than like maybe the entire story of someone's life. I don't know if you know what I mean. So we'll see. I like it because it has like real pictures of him in it, and I think that's really cute when they do that because they're people too, you know, so whatever. So there's that choice. Then my third choice, I wanted to choose something that would be quick, right, that I could get through, but I also wanted to read one of the books that I eventually want to teach my students. And that book is, it's not even a book, I'm sorry, it's this play, Fences by August Wilson. I have never read this. It was not a part of my assigned reading in high school or college, in the classes I took anyway. So I'm excited to read this, and I hope I like it enough that I want to teach it and then develop like a little unit around it. So looking to read this with the like before summer so that like I use the summer to plan that unit, you know what I mean? So that is August Wilson's Fences. And then the last book that I picked myself, right, is I was like, I needed something, different. I've been reading a lot of thrillers lately and a lot of historical fiction, so I wanted to like mix it up. And so I chose a romance, and this is Don't Tell Me How It Ends by Adrienne Thurman. I've never read anything from this author. This was the first book that I picked up from her. I like it because it's short. I noticed that I don't really like long romances. I realized that I'm not a really like heavy romance reader. I do read romance and I do like it for when I read them. I mostly read them during the summer, I noticed. So it's spring, it's getting close to summer, so I kind of want to start reading the romances. So because this is a shorter one, I picked this one. So there's that choice. So now I'm going to pick 2 prompts from my little jar here. I wrote a bunch of prompts, cut them up on different color paper. I was having a whole time. I think I was listening to an audiobook while I was doing this. And I'm just gonna pick 2 prompts and pick 2 books to add to this list that I already have, and that will round out, what will that make it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books that I hope to read in May. I do not know if I will get to them. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna pick 2. Okay. Let's do here. Okay, I'll pick this one, and I think I'm gonna pick the book after I read both prompts because save time. So this one says a book recommended by someone. Okay, I think I could do that. Wait, do I? Can I? I don't think so. Maybe. We'll see. Alright. And then this one says a book with less than 300 pages. Okay. I like that. Alright. I'm going to go look through and then I'll be right back. Okay. So I think I found one for, a book with less than 300 pages. I think I'm going to choose Shanora Williams' Whispers of the Lake. And yeah, this is, let's see, I think it was 259. So I think I'm going to do this one for a book with less than 300 pages. I was looking and I don't think I have a book that was recommended by someone that I know. Most of my recommendations I get from the internet. I think I'm gonna put this prompt back and pick a new one. So let me do that. I'm gonna pick a new prompt because I really don't think I have a book that is recommended. Most of my recommendations are from the internet and I just read stuff on my own. All right. Okay. This one is an older book in my library. And I think I could do that. Sula by Toni Morrison. I've had this book for a really long time. Please excuse the thrift store sticker. Clearly I never took it off. But I have been thinking about reading this book for a while. It's been like catching my eye. So I think I want to read this. Oh, and it's less than 200 pages. I had no idea. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this one. I think Sula is a good round out to this because it's definitely different from everything else, but I think that's needed, right? Okay. All right, so here's my final stack. So we've got these guys here. The Black Queen, How to Build a Fashion Icon, Fences, Don't Tell Me How It Ends, Whispers of the Lake, Sula, and King of Ashes. I certainly hope I can get through all of these. No promises, but at the very least, I know I'll read The King of Ashes because it's my book club pick. And I definitely know I'm going to read The Black Queen because I've been itching to read that for a minute, and I know I'm gonna pull those out. So that is my May hopeful TBR. I certainly hope I can read all of these. But if not, that's okay. You know, it's the fun that counts. So I think that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books or have any recommendations for them, leave it. Even if you are a silent watcher, thank you so much for watching. I also am a silent watcher, but just like the video, I do that. I do like the videos, but I am a silent watcher, so I respect it if you are too. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you in the next video if I decide to do this again. Okay, bye!